Once again, welcome to Politics with Pete. Glad you could join us today. I've been seeing a lot of this political correctness going on. We can't afford to violate the rights of another group that is visiting our country or trying to live in our country. You know, I got to thinking, and I'm going to come right out and say it, it's the Muslims that we can't violate Muslims. Did you know that in the state of Minnesota, I think it's hilarious. I think it's comical if it wasn't so true. They can take their picture for their driver's license in their burqa. And I'm trying to think, is it really politically correct, or do our politicians want votes? Is that it? Because I'm going to tell you something, the way I feel is while we're teaching our children as they're growing up in school to be loving and kind and godly to everyone, because that's what God wants, to be warm and friendly and extend our hand to these people. While we're teaching our children to be politically correct, the ISIS are teaching their children how to behead us. And what do we have in the White House? We have a man that won't even call it what it is. We cannot afford to live like this politically correct, so that we can get their votes. And I even go so far, as much as everybody knows I'm a Republican, I even go so far as to bring in our two leaders in the House and then the Senate. Boehner and McConnell, they're disasters. It seems like they're getting ready for their lobbyist job. They have done nothing for us. Remember the promises? We're going to open up the Keystone Pipeline. We're going to repeal Obamacare. They have done nothing. They want to maintain the political correct aspect. We can't afford to upset the Hispanics, the Muslims, because we all want their votes. Yeah, we got to have their votes. So they don't care what you and I think. They don't care about politically correct. I'm going to think of it, but the next time I have the video going, I'm going to think of another term for politically correct that kind of corroborates voting correct or something like that, because we can't have this to go on. We can't raise our children not to stand up for what our founding fathers laid down for us, for the greatness of this country, to be politically correct. Can you imagine going back to the days of George Washington, fighting the tyranny in England if we wanted to be politically correct? Can you imagine in World War II if FDR would have said we must be politically correct to those people that view things different than us? I want to sit down and interview these Japanese bombers that came over here and dropped bombs on Pearl Harbor. That politically correct stuff is going to destroy this country. We can't have it. We've got to fight against it, and we fight against it starting November 2016, folks. We need a strong leader. That's Politics with Pete for today. Thanks for joining, and I'd like to hear a comment or two. Let me know how you feel, and don't forget to subscribe.